you want to start a profitable Airbnb business without owning any property in 2023, the best way to do it is actually without owning the property, because you get higher cash on cash returns, especially if you do it in an area where you can get consistent bookings. And this is what our team is really, really good at helping our clients find. Now, one specific question that's been coming up recently is, Nick, what do I do when it comes to finding a cleaning team or a handyman or handy person who's going to be responsible for not only cleaning the property before and after guests arrive, but also fixing and repairing any small items that need to be repaired or fixed during my experience running a short-term rental business. So what I'm going to do in this video is break down how we find cleaning teams, how to manage them, and what that relationship looks like. So I'm going to step behind my screen and show you that now. So what you're going to want to do is create a profile in Thumbtack.com. In 2023, this is probably the best platform to consistently find employees, or specifically, we refer to them as contractors, who will be responsible for doing your cleaning, number one, and then your repairs as a handyman or handy person, number two. And then the third one, I'm going to give examples of each of these here, is finding somebody to actually come in and do your real estate photography or your short-term rental professional photography photos. The number one thing that is going to prevent you from getting the best consistent bookings that pay the most every single month is not having quality photos. So I'm going to step through all three of those here. So the number one thing here is, let's find somebody who is a gifted cleaning team. And I'm just going to put in a random zip code here. I'm just going to pull up one that I had done a research on in the past. So we wait for the results to load up here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show an example of how do I vet whether or not somebody is good. So let's say I'm looking at Millie's cleaning team, European cleaning, RG and home. So this is great, RG and business cleaning services. I want to see, a reasonable starting cost. In most areas, you should be able to get cleaning teams who do it for less than $130 to $150. If you're in other areas where it's a little more expensive, it's not unreasonable, but you can always negotiate with these vendors or these cleaning teams outside of this platform. So the first thing I do is I will open up 2 or 3 of these people's profiles by either clicking here or hitting view profile here, opening these up in separate tabs. And then what I want to look at is, outside of the cost that they present in that field that we just saw on the last page, I actually want to take a look immediately at the featured photos so I can see what kind of work, especially if they're a cleaning team, I want to see what the cleans look like. If I see things where things hadn't been cleaned, and like grout in the tiles, for example, or if there are stains on the toilets or the sinks, probably don't want to work with that person. And then what I immediately do is I look at reviews. So I'll actually read through all of these. I want to see real relevant reviews from the last few months. So right now at the time of recording this, January is a few months ago. I want to see, are these people legit at actually getting results? So I have 3 vendors here who overall look like they're pretty good. I would say it's probably in my best interest to reach out to all of them. So I would select the fields that I need here, just say check availability. So I would submit that for everyone here. And then what I would do is I would move forward to next steps, follow all the processes here, and then message them back either in the platform or via email, or typically what these vendors will do is provide their phone number so that I can have an honest phone conversation with them and understand whether they're not a good fit. So that is my quick process in a nutshell of how we find good cleaning teams that we know are going to be super consistent, likely going to show up, have a track record of performing like I saw in my 5-star reviews. Now what I'm also going to show is that exact same scenario for finding photographers and then for finding a handyman. So let's dive back into the screen share now. So as a quick bonus here, I'm also going to demonstrate what that experience looks like for photographers. So let's see if I can find a professional photographer, but specifically, I'm going to do real estate photographers, because what I really want to see here is somebody who's got a portfolio of photos that are actually in the real estate or staging space, so I can see internally, interior, what does these photos or what do these photos look like. So this is a quick example. This is how I find people in under 5 minutes. I do outreach to them. Overall, these photos look amazing. I can tell that they have been staged exceptionally well. The angles from which this photographer is taking photos are phenomenal, and the retouching, the colors pop. Like, look at these colors here. This is not a natural, just organic, raw photo. They've actually put a little bit of work in on retouching some of the saturation of the colors in the sky, the grass. Like, overall, this is the type of person that I want to work with. to make sure that if I am paying somebody to go and do a photo shoot of my property, that it's going to actually work. So in the zip code that I searched in, I see that this person is relatively close by, reasonable estimated cost. I would select all of these answers. So I would just say this here, whatever my responses are. Drone photography needed. I would say no for this. I would sit check availability. It looks like I'm not logged in right now, so it's probably not going to prompt me to do everything else. I would just say, hey, I'm signing on a lease on a spot. Let's say I need somebody within the next 1 to 2 weeks. I just select those, hit next on everything, and then basically just get to the stage where I have an opportunity to contact them. Let's go through all of this here. Definitely want digital download so that I don't have to be in person. So again, just pretty much submitting everything needed here. Just pop in an email address and hit next, and then we're good to go. So the exact same process is what I follow when I am looking for somebody who might be we'll just call him or her a handy person. Handyman, fix it. We'll just type in that keyword here. So in Thumbtack, it's labeled as handyman. Again, I can do this remotely. I don't need to be in person. I don't need to meet this person face to face. I can trust people based on the reviews that they've got on this platform. So what I'll give you as an example here is Mark. He's definitely on the higher end of things, but he has a proven track record, so I would definitely reach out to him. Martin the handyman, again, very, very high end on this here, but you can see that their track record is very, very quality. What I would do in this scenario is I would try and find somebody who's also a little lower on that spectrum. So 45 hours is really, really good too. This $10 per hour one, I probably wouldn't trust this person with some super heavy duty, high end projects that I need them to take care of. But what I would do with Mark is I would say, hey, for the first 1 or 2 times that I need you to be on premise, some of these jobs might take only 20, 30 minutes. I would just ask that you be super reasonable with accurately conveying how much time are you actually spending in the property, so that we can determine the hourly rate that we actually owe you based on the time that you spent there. So that is overall the nutshell breakdown of how we find quality people, like not just cleaning teams, but real estate photographers, and also people like handymans or handy women, handy people who can come in and fix things as needed. So I hope this video gave you value. If you're trying to do this on your own, you can take this strategy and run with it. If you want to work with our company, you can actually click the link somewhere in our YouTube video description to look a little more into us, our background, who we help, how we help them, and schedule a call with us. So for now, continue checking out more of our YouTube videos to get more familiar with the short-term rental space, or just click that link in the description if you want to work directly with our team, and we look forward to speaking with you soon.